A bad night to do that. All right.
Don't forget to cue me. Copblock Radio is filmed live from secret locations across the globe. All cops are assumed innocent until proven guilty by Copblockers cameras. The video evidence doesn't
What's up,
lie,
Theo?
ladies and gentlemen. The video evidence doesn't lie.
How's everybody doing tonight?
How is everybody doing tonight, man?
The video evidence always lies. You're so wrong. The video evidence makes the cops look bad. They are saints. You're
February
crazy.
10th.
Everything's been edited.
It's
Hey,
February
provoke
10th.
'em.
I swear to God,
10th?
it's just somebody
Hey, Gilbert,
out there
shut
they
the fuck
wanna
up a
make it
minute, will you?
Okay.
Let me finish introducing the goddamn show. Do you mind?
Sorry.
Can we say that it's February 10th, 2016? I know your interview is not till later, Gilbert, so just please calm down. Okay? I know you get excited. I know how you are. I've been watching you a very long time. So, who's been contacted by the government today?
I don't think. I think they're kicking down all our doors lately.
Probably.
I've been contacted. Matt's been contacted. Dio's been contacted. We've all been contacted. They've officially noticed our show, I think.
Yeah.
I think they all know how I've been contacted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we hear about you, Severin? Why don't we start off with you?
Well, most people know that I was arrested for filming a police station. I was arrested with 2 other people. We have retained attorneys. We have fought them.
You were off probation when that happened, right? You were off probation when you got arrested?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I made sure my last day
I thought so. I just wasn't sure in my mind.
It was actually,
order.
strangely enough, it was the day after my last day of probation. No coincidence there, but anyway, so what happened was we were arrested for filming a police station. They did it straight up to intimidate and push us around. There was no legality to it whatsoever. They even made comments while we were in custody about us cop blockers needing to learn our lesson and leave police alone and this and that. So we came back at them pretty hard, and we want our video evidence, and we filed some subpoenas. And so far now, as of yesterday, they have denied 2 different judges subpoenas for this case. The first was a judge's simple request, a written judge's request for the video in our arrest. They denied that. Then I had to go with the judge, sign papers as a representative of myself, as usually your attorney would do this for you, but I had to go sign the subpoenas, send them out first-class mail to them, and they have just responded to those subpoenas.
Hell, without video evidence, my prosecuting attorney would have had no case.
Well, the good thing is we do have video evidence of our arrest, and that has no bearing on our court case. They can deny all the subpoenas they want. We were on public property, and they're charging us with trespassing. So our case is solved just by looking at where we were during the time that they claim we were trespassing. The thing is, I want that video for a lawsuit because it shows them illegally breaking into my car and searching it while we were in custody. That is why they have gotten all of their high-ups.
I sure hope your video can back that up, because I sure as hell would like to see that.
There is no other reason why they would keep denying this video unless it shows something damning on their part. The judge has requested it. They denied the judge's request. Then we took it to Harrisburg.
You talk as if these people make sense, dude.
I honestly thought these high-ups, these guys that handles the information requests, and like these guys up in Harrisburg, would actually show some dignity for their job and the badge. And
No. There's no law. We'll make one up. That's how it goes.
It's unbelievable. Like, they actually sent back in writing, we don't have to answer that subpoena. And the judge and the lawyer both said, what? This is outrageous. They've never heard of nothing like this. They're quoting some law that obscurely quotes a case as anything above a summary offense. So if they basically, what they're saying is, we can charge you with as many summaries as we want, and we don't need to provide the proof of that, because a case is anything above a summary.
Dude,
that's their position at this point.
I protested 6 checkpoints in Parma before I got cited for having my sign. They had to let me go for 6 rounds before they could figure out something that they could try to fuck with me with. And they finally figured it out because they said, "Oh, we'll just do the turn now thing now, so we'll get him with that."
Well, they see that they're guilty. That's the only reason that they're doing this, is that they see that evidence would be harmful to them. So they're going to make it as hard as they can for us to obtain. Now, when the lawsuit's filed, they have to come up with that evidence, and my lawyers have assured me that we will get that evidence. But that also has zero bearing. That's just icing on the cake. This is just icing on the cake on our lawsuit.
Remember how Cantwell said that there was people with 2 different kinds of brains?
Yeah.
It works the same way with statists, man. You think like a statist, you have statist ideals, you've been brought up to think that everything that they tell you is correct, so therefore that's what you believe when you get older, and unless you take your head out of your ass and figure it out, that's what you believe for the rest of your life. So now you expect these people, we expect these people to turn around and go into court as jurors and shit and say, "Wait a minute, let me throw all that out. let me just throw all that out on the off chance that this guy's right." I mean, it just
the average
the mind won't allow them to think in that way. You know what I mean? It's been fucking molded and brainwashed and everything for so long that it doesn't know anything else.
Well, the average juror is sitting there with this mentality of, I got a criminal in front of me and it's my job to make sure he pays for his crimes. They're not sitting there trying to be objective. They're sitting there because they were too stupid to get out of jury duty. So most of them can just, in my opinion.
After what I witnessed, I wouldn't say that exactly.
No, more of them are sitting there thinking, "It's my duty to send this person to jail. It's on me now."
Yeah, exactly. I don't have much faith in a jury, but I also know that lawyers are good at convincing juries. Now, with your case, Dio, I have strong faith, man. I'm going to lose a lot of my faith in this legal system.
Why?
If you get found guilty, I'm going to lose any faith that I have that I'm going to see justice in my case.
Well, don't go fucking crying over spilt milk just yet, because it doesn't if I get found guilty,
I will cry. I will be very sad.
If I get found guilty, it's not the end of the world, because there's always appeals.
But you would have to start serving your time immediately, right?
No, there wouldn't sentence. I would be out on appellate bond until... Well, we would actually have to request. I don't know. Look, I don't want to get too much into the details because of I don't know what I can and cannot discuss without.
That's smart.
Yeah. So, like, let's not get too much into that kind of stuff. Just like summary of what happened and keep it at that. So.
All I can say is if that does end up happening, I'm gonna have to make a Dio head.
Well, that was my encounter with the law this week. Was the state police in Pennsylvania denying the judge's subpoena for records. So now it's back in the judge's hands. It looks like we might end up getting our case just tossed out. The judge is kind of fed up with it, so he might actually just toss it out, and we can go ahead with our lawsuit. Matt had an instant, and then when we come back from Matt's instant, I think we'll jump into Dio's case.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a bit. Back on Copblock Radio.
Well, no, we got a few minutes for Matt's. For Matt.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, let me do this real quick. So, basically, first things first is if you have a woman call you and say that she's got a problem with domestics, you just run the fuck away. You don't help them.
I could have told you that.
Let them do their own thing, because you're never going to get the whole story. Well, I ended up trying to help somebody out with this, and made a phone call on their behalf, and basically the person who I called they had a friend who happened to be an ex-state police officer. So this guy decides that he's going to use his old mentality of being a state police officer and decide to call and use threats and intimidation tactics. Went as far as to tell me that he was going to have my phone number ran through the state system to see if by the active state police to have my my location basically found to where I was at, which is, I mean, that's great. I called him on Google Voice. It goes back to an email.
Was this person in your cell?
Was it in my cell?
Yeah. In your cell 411. It wasn't a person in your cell 411?
No.
Well, there goes your first problem. You didn't trust somebody in your cell 411 first. That's where you got to go.
Well, we are going to be cutting to a commercial break. We're going to have more of Matt's encounter with the police as well as Dio's trial when we come back. All right, we're out.
That'll be your cue for. We can make that the cue for the whatchamacallit, to do a cell 411 commercial.
Okay.
Were they in your cell?
There you go.
All right, I'm going to play commercials.
Okay.
That legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine American tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm.
Are you a political activist who does things that the government might not like? Then this free ebook may save your life. Rats is your guide to protecting yourself against snitches, informers, informants, agents provocateur, narcs, finks, and similar vermin. Rats was written by OG libertarian Claire Wolfe. Rats is a short book, easy to read, and available free in many formats. Download Rats free at rats-nosnitch.com. That's rats-nosnitch.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
I got it.
People here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, Copblockers. How's everybody doing today? This
Excellent.
is Wednesday, February 10th, 2016 edition. So we were talking to Matt about how he has been contacted by the government. But since he's muted right now, I guess we'll have to go with my thing, huh?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about
Go ahead, continue then.
Yeah, so basically what ended up happening from that is just guy calls, pulls his intimidation tactics, basically just you could tell 100% that he had been trained to fear first and use his intimidation just to get his way through his training. Ended up coming out that he was retired, so I kind of called him out on the fact that he had no business of even making the phone call to me. And that was basically it. But, I mean, it was still contact by somebody who was attempting to play the role of police officer and used to be one.
Well, I thought that they actually tried to flip it around on you too,
well,
and make you the bad guy in the whole situation, just trying to resolve things.
I mean, they did for a bit. They did attempt to say that I had in there claimed to be a police officer, but I record all my cell phone calls. So when I got a phone call from an actual police officer asking me, what the whole thing was, I turned around and told him, well, if you guys want to come down here and talk to me and pick me up on these charges, that's perfectly fine. I said, but you're just basically going to make an ass out of yourself when I play you these call recordings, and you hear that I did absolutely nothing of which I've been accused of. I said, so, go ahead and do what you guys got to do, but, I've got myself covered.
I don't suggest anyone listening do this, Matt. I've told Matt I think he's foolish for doing it. I have.
This is not legal advice. Do these things at your own risk. Do not try this at home, ladies and gentlemen.
I have since stopped talking to Matt on the phone because I do not wish to be recorded. Because I do say stupid stuff when I get angry. So I will never call him when I'm mad and ranting again. But yeah, go ahead, Matt. As far as recording your calls, just make sure you know your right.
Yeah, know your rights, know where you are.
Hold on a second. Before we do that, I think we should just at least touch on the subject that the FBI is moving in on the Oregon shooter.
Well, we were gonna blow that up right after Matt was done. It's breaking.
But I think yeah.
Is it happening right now?
Yeah,
they're
it's
actually moving in.
I think if it's getting
to get pretty intense right now, actually, things like they're saying
just
things
give a little.
like,
Matt, why don't you just give a little? Because you got the feed in front of you, right? I mean, you're watching it, so you can go ahead and just give a little.
Anybody who wants to tune into the feed
is happening.
It is on the Copblock Radio Facebook page right now. It was put on before the show. What's going on is the Oregon militia is.
The remaining members.
The remaining, I believe, 4 people that are left there are held up, and the FBI has decided that they're ending it one way or the other. They are live on the internet, broadcasting out. It could be cut off at any time. They are saying that they're fearful for their lives. Matt, what's breaking with this?
As of right now, there's over 55,000 people listening to this live. They have attempted more than once to get the FBI on the phone so they can talk to some negotiator to basically work this out. Things like, I'm not going to jail, I'm not leaving without my gun are being said, and they're praying about every couple minutes. These people don't think they're leaving this alive. And the FBI, although they're saying they want a peaceful resolution, are not giving them any ability to talk about what's, how to solve this.
You know what? I love all the fans of this show, but if somebody wants to tune out of here and tune into that, I would not feel at all any kind of way because this might not be available tomorrow. I would not be at all surprised if this video is pulled somehow. If these people get murdered live, they're gonna pull this video somehow.
That's really the only reason.
The FBI will figure out a way to silence this because
that's really the only reason I wanted to bring it up now, and I didn't mean to throw out the schedule or anything like that, but I mean I think it's getting to that point where,
it's about to go down.
Shit's getting real, so I mean,
Man, I really wish we had the ability on this show to play that for you. Matt,
maybe in the future.
You don't have any ability to play some video or to play that, do you?
The audio?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you hear that?
Very low.
No,
Can
not
you turn
really.
it up?
Skip it. Don't even do it because it's not even going to be worth it. But just like I said, just to mention it, if you want to tune into it, we can point you in the direction of where to find it. That's all I really wanted to bring up about it.
Yeah.
What I'll do while we're doing this is I'll have it sitting in one ear, so if something actually breaks off, I can give you guys the update.
So you're listening to it on a different set than you're on this call with?
Yes. I have it live streaming through my phone so I can listen to it. So
I'm fearful for these people. I mean, I was just listening before we even joined in this call, and they were saying they don't believe they're exiting there alive, and they want to. They don't want this to end in shootout, but they think that that's what the feds want this to end in. It's scary. They actually had I believe it was a senator or a congressman, a high-up official on the phone trying to get the feds on the phone, demanding with all her authority that they answer the phone and stop this right now and come to a peaceful resolution. And
yeah, she's actually trying to get to the refuge right now and speak to them, but the FBI will not let her go to the refuge. They will not let her go.
They're going to kill these people. They're determined. They're going to make an example. If you stand up to the government, if you stand up to them, this is what's going to happen to you.
Listening to it right now, they want to surrender, but they want her there so when they walk out, they don't get shot, and the FBI will not let her go.
Oh, man.
So they're trying to surrender, but they want to do it in a way that they can be safe, and they're not letting them do it that way.
So this is breaking. Like, we had our top story today was Dio's trial, but this is happening now across the country. Everyone should be hearing this.
Because plus I can't really go into too much details about it anyway. So I mean, next week I'll be able to do a better, thing about my trial. I mean, I can give you a little bit of inside info about it, but not really a lot of not any details or anything like that.
Well, why don't you tell us? Why don't you? We'll be cutting in and out throughout the whole show with updates for the militia. What's happening there, Matt? Yeah, if you hear anything, just interrupt the show right away.
I'll cut you guys off. Don't worry about it.
But Dio, at least you can tell us what ways are they trying to discredit you or maybe make you look bad in the trial that's being shown here?
Well, that's exactly what it is that they're trying to do, is to try to make me look like some kind of kook, So the video evidence speaks for itself. So I mean, everybody's seen the video. I posted it. I'm standing by everything that happened in the videos, in both of them. So
they were actually fighting at one point. According to the updates, they were actually fighting at one point to get the audio of your video thrown out, right? Or
I didn't hear anything about that. I don't know.
I saw some kind of post saying that they were trying to suppress part of the audio from your video.
You didn't see it from me, so I mean.
No, it wasn't. It was actually in the Parmageddon thing.
Yeah. So
I think it was actually Micah that posted it.
You can't say it. I mean, I can't say whether it's true or not if I don't know. So that's kind of like them trying to say that they can.
But let's just get it clear. Get it clear for anybody else getting mixed messages.
Let's just say this. Let me just. I just summarize it for you real quick, okay? We've been through. The trial is over.
Unfortunately, you're just going to have to summarize it when we come back from our commercial break.
The trial's over. And that's it.
Jury's out. We're waiting for the results. When we come back, we'll have more on the Oregon militia.
Yeah, it's getting crazy over there.
And we cut. Okay, so that's good. I got this clock down now. The clock is synced.
Time.
How long do we have?
How long? What time do you have right now, first of all, on your fucking clock?
29, 12, 13, 14,
Very
15.
good. Now, what time do we come back, according to that clock?
29. I'm sorry, 33 and 10.
33 and 10. You got it. And I swear to God, I'm going to give you some fucking noogies, Severin. I'm going to hurt you like this if this works out. Okay, it goes 3 weeks of this fucking clock shit, and all you had to do was sync your fucking clock.
Of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it.
I'm going to give you some noogies. Just remember that.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. On Wednesday, gold is $3 higher at $1,192 per ounce. Silver is up 2 cents at $15.29 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $382 US. We're offering up to 200 Gold American Eagle 10th ounce coins for $60 off the usual ounce price each. Call us and ask about this special at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbr.co.
When you're coping with bad news and the news media come calling, and they will, clam up as notorious political figures find out the hard way.
cover-up can be worse than the crime. Get out in front of unfavorable news about your company, your group, or organization, or yourself. The sooner you confront a negative story, the sooner it will be over. Responding to negative stories as you do to positive ones enhances your credibility. Hiding embarrassing information or lying will do more damage than damage control. Never stonewall. Tell your side of the story, use specifics, and detail what corrective action has already been taken. Respond in kind. If the issue is emotional, don't sound like a cold, unemotional Mr. Spock. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of hearing things like this on the radio and television?
I've read the Quran. The Hadith assures 90% of it is violence.
Terrorism, Islamic terrorism, ISIS, Islamic terrorism.
I would even submit to you that Islam's not even a religion. It's a social, political system that uses a deity to advance its agenda of global conquest.
Wouldn't you much rather hear things like this?
And Muslims traditionally were very libertarian in their approach.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, says even at times of war, you don't break a tree, you don't destroy buildings, you don't kill women and children, you don't kill the aged and the elderly.
What's called income tax in classical Islam is definitely prohibited.
Muslims are very wary of any scholar who associates closely with the government, and they always have been.
Join Will Coley and his rotating cast of scholars on Call to Freedom every Sunday night from 10 p.m. to midnight on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So basically, we've got the situation's kind of breaking down here out in Oregon. So what's going on right now is they're trying to get the people who are being broadcasters. They're trying to get a hold of the FBI, and the FBI does not want to talk to them. They're on the phone right now with a congresswoman. I wish I had her name for you. I don't right now. I'm working on trying to get that for you. But she's basically saying, or they're saying to her, we're willing to make a concession tomorrow. Franklin Graham is going to be there with them, and they're going. They said they will.
The preacher, Franklin Graham.
What?
The preacher, Franklin Graham.
Exactly. They're going to be there with him. They will go ahead and they will give themselves up. Well, FBI is not really listening to them, and they're basically saying if the congresswoman and Franklin Graham is not there, they will die on that location tomorrow. So, and that's not them saying it out of fear. That is them saying either we're doing it this way or it's going to end in blood. It's going to end in gunfire. So it's getting very, very intense here.
No, they're not trying to threaten. I don't believe they're actually pleading for their lives.
It doesn't sound threatening.
They're very scared at this point. They're like cornered animals.
Exactly.
They're cornered in this cabin. They're asking for these celebrities who are willing to come to ensure their protection, and the FBI is not listening. They're saying, no, come on out right now, or we're going to come in and kill you, basically.
Right, but at the same time, they are there for change, and they're saying, if they have to be martyrs for this situation, for this change, they will be. They want to surrender. Don't get me wrong. They have said that they want to surrender, but they are willing to lay down their lives if the FBI is not willing to at least meet them halfway and make sure that they are able to walk out of there safely, because their biggest fear is they can see from that cabin snipers on the ridge of a hill out out the window. They can see snipers.
Now here's my
know
question.
that
Have
they're-
they committed any actual crime at this point that they need to be arrested for? Originally, these guys were just occupying a public space. From what I understood, this was a public area open to anybody that wanted to come and go. They just walked in and said, okay, we're not leaving, and they had guns. So the FBI decided, okay, that we're going to escalate this. So if they haven't broken any laws yet, theoretically they should be allowed to just leave and get in their car and drive away.
Well, the problem is that this movement has been connected to the fact that when it originally broke down before it split, there was gunfire. Somebody else did shoot at a police officer. Somebody did lose their lives. So unfortunately, everybody who's still there is still kind of connected to that incident. So that's where it sits right now. I don't know the exact.
So they're walking out into handcuffs. That's
Yes.
what they're facing.
I mean,
and they're going to be
basically,
taken
they
into
just-
custody by the very people that just killed their friend.
And they just said over the air, basically to everybody listening to us, kill us and get it over with.
Wow.
It's
scary.
getting very intense out there.
Now, why they haven't cut that feed yet is beyond me, but I have a feeling that we will hear dead air once those feds decide to move in. They're going to cut any kind of communication.
They're in such a they're in such an interesting spot right now because there is over 65,000 people listening to this broadcast live. So if 65,000 people are listening and they say they're coming for us, and then it cuts dead and these people end up in a body bag by the end of the night, everybody's gonna know exactly what just went down.
And tomorrow,
Wow, we got 65,000 viewers.
Tomorrow it won't matter.
Right.
Tomorrow everybody goes about their business in the federal building, and the American people just got to watch another person killed, another group of people killed for standing up for their rights. Very scary stuff, guys. Very scary stuff. We'll definitely be coming in and out with more updates to this. We're going to jump to another top story that's going on right now. And, Dio, this was, I believe, one that you mentioned.
Really?
The Black Lives Matter activists.
Oh, yeah, man. That's crazy. Dude shot himself on the steps of the Ohio State House, man. He just went up to the State House and said, I'm out, pissed on the fucking State House, and then shot himself in the head. It's an insane sadness. I don't mean to chuckle because I'm chuckling at the way he did it. It's just so fuck you and here you go. I love it. I mean, I love that about it. But the thing of it is that this is fucking what police brutality is doing to people. Okay, people are so exactly because they see that there is no way out of this fucking shit. This is like that. They see how they have such a tight control over everything. These statist people, that's why there's so many cop suckers, man. There's so many cop suckers because they're all statists and they all have been taught their entire lives that what the cops do is correct. It doesn't matter, and that the people that are dealing with the police, that the police are roughing up and shit like that, deserve to be because they're interacting with the police. If they weren't interacting with the police, these people look at it and they say, that doesn't happen to me. I obey all the laws, and I just walk down the street and nothing ever happens. I never even could talk to a police officer, and like they don't realize that, that's not always the case, that they could very well be one day snatched up, beaten, taken to a cage, imprisoned, jailed, however you want to put it, and possibly killed. And fucking the government, the state, the federals, whatever, will not think twice about it. You think you fucking matter? You think your one little life matters? They silenced Martin Luther King. They silenced all these leaders, right? JFK and everybody, right? You think that you really matter? You really think that you matter?
Well, I want to real quick let the listeners know, just because we don't have our call line set up, you can communicate with the show through the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, just click the Q&A tab that's at the bottom. Or if you want to send a text message over to... Actually, you can send a text message over to the Facebook page. That's another way you can communicate. The Copblock Radio Facebook page. The story we're talking about right now is on the page. So anybody that wishes to participate, we had a few questions already. Somebody asked, why isn't the president stopping this? And that's a good question, guys.
That is.
Why isn't the president getting involved? The same person also made the realize that this is not even being talked about on local media at all. No media station, CNN is not running a feed of this. No station is running this, and this is about to end live. Why is there such a silence on this, and why is the president not doing anything? What's your take?
What do you want him to do exactly?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure
order
what
the feds to
president
do
can
a
in this.
peaceful resolution.
Dude,
See,
they'll
the
be
president-
dead by the time they even get the fucking order.
Yeah, I mean, the president, he's not there to negotiate or talk about this as it's happening. He's the puppet figurehead. He's the one who talks about it after everything happened. And
That talks
the
about gun
media-
control and tries to spin
Exactly.
it toward whatever whatever his agenda is, which makes me sick.
Right, you'll hear
Whatever
Hillary
their
Clinton.
agenda
You'll hear Hillary Clinton out there tomorrow talking about how we need gun control because this is the way that the world's going to work. And the reason why you don't have mainstream media, your MSNBCs, Fox News, CNN's talking about it, is because they're shill corporations. They report what needs to be reported by what they're told to report. I mean, Fox News last year won a case that basically allows them to not report real news. If they don't want to report real news, they don't have to.
These statements have no basis in fact. These are just completely our opinion. It's just stating that for a disclaimer.
No, that is actually fact.
Yeah,
that
I'm
is
not-
fact. I laugh at Fox News watchers for this. Their station is not a registered news station.
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
register it
that's
specially to be broadcasting news. Theirs
Neo
is
doesn't
registered.
condone all of these comments.
The Fox News is
you don't have
registered
to.
under a entertainment section. That is
Exactly.
fact. Look it up, guys. Google it. We're cutting to another commercial break. We're going to be back with some special guests out of some Copblock groups around the country.
Google me, bitch.
Some more stories, an interview with Gilbert Godfrey,
Yeah, he's here in the studio. He's
and more
he's got to find his
updates.
donut.
Gilbert, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just calm your ass
All
down.
right, we're out.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
To support
You assholes are gonna make me have to stay the whole time, aren't you?
real estate for investment property or rentals in the Free State.
What time?
Visit his website. Come on, you know it.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions in self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to personal freedom. I realize you may feel different, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. Tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. It's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
If you are successful at what you do, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a business owner, or you have a great career, you understand the concept of protecting yourself. Well, are you protecting yourself, your family, and your assets with quality term life insurance? Consider these possible rates. A man age 45, non-tobacco user could obtain $1 million of coverage for as little as $75 a month. And this rate is fixed for the next 10 years. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. A man age 50, non-tobacco user may be able to obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $115 a month. And this rate is fixed for the next 20 years. We have great rates for smokers, too. Call the Term Lifeline now. 800-872-0403, 800-872-0403, 800-872-0403.
You can watch the LRN Studio Cam and chat with other listeners anytime at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
Welcome back to Copblock Radio. Where the videos are live. Where the videos don't lie. What's happening, y'all? What do we got next? What's happening? We still talking about the guy in Columbus?
It's the No BS radio station.
Yes. So...
Well, I mean, the guy in Columbus, I actually just moved past that story. I closed it, but it really shows how far it has come. That people are that fed up.
Yeah, this is what the lack of police accountability is doing to people.
They're just, I mean, I haven't been to the point where I'm going to kill myself. That's for sure. But I know the hopelessness that some people could be feeling about this because I felt it myself. Like, what is the point of even fighting? Because it's just they don't care.
It's a fine line to walk not to get trapped in between those two things, man.
Yeah.
It's a fine line to walk not to get trapped in between thinking, you know what, they make all the rules, they do all the whatever they want, so what chance do I have? And hey, now they have detained me, I have to go before them, and I have to learn their fucking language real quick in order to get myself out of this fucking jam.
Well, I mean, I pride myself on knowing my rights and knowing the law from the top of my head, and I'm pretty well versed on things. I can school a cop pretty easily.
They make like 144 new laws a year, man. They make like a whole shitload of new laws every year.
They got people sitting in a room just thinking shit up.
Yeah,
that's their job. If they don't think shit up, they don't have a job.
Well, my point was, what does it matter though? Like, if I learn every law under the sun, if I become a lawyer, what does it matter if I'm walking into their ball field to play ball with them? Like, it's just. You're never on a home field advantage, and that's not the way our courts were supposed to be set up. We were supposed to be at the home field advantage. When we stepped into a courtroom, it was meant to be that the little guy meant something and had the power in the courtroom, and the burden was on the state. It's no longer like that. People are guilty before they've ever seen a court day.
Well, like cops lie for a living, and then there they go, they take the stand, they're supposed to be believed. Like, if you don't have video evidence, it's very hard to disprove a police officer's testimony, unless you, like, have, say, a lawyer is basically can argue. That's what his job is, to argue. So if you can argue enough to catch a police officer testifying his own lies, like getting caught in lies and stuff like that, then if you don't have video, that's really the only way to do it. And like without the video, that's almost impossible to do. So, it's a
almost. I'd say it's
22.
impossible.
It's you're not going to hard place type situation. So
if you're in a courtroom and it's your word against a cop, you are not going to win. You lost already. You might as well take the best deal that they got to offer you, because if you don't have video to back up your story, you are screwed sideways.
Yeah,
They will. They are not going to buy your story at all.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
all right, guys, we've
true.
got ultimatums getting thrown around out here. Basically, it sounds like they're starting to lose a little bit of hope. They're basically saying, kill us now. We'll leave tomorrow, but if you come closer to us, we're leaving in body bags.
Oh boy.
It's no longer. It's been kind of loud, but it is just it's gone from them trying to have a conversation and de-escalate to he's screaming in my ear right now.
Well, I, from what I understand, what was happening was most of the people in the house are like on board with a little calmer mindset, and there's really one guy still there that kind of seems like he wants this to end in a messed up way. Now, don't get me wrong, the cops should not be escalating this on their side, but there's one of the protesters that's screaming back at the police that's been screaming the entire time, and he's the one saying kill us or let us go to the morning. It's not actually all of them. It's just this.
And the other three guys got signs that say, "I'm not with him."
Yeah, pretty much. I think that the other three in the house are talking to Gavin Seim on the telephone, and they're trying to get a peaceful resolution to this.
It's they've cut the power, obviously. They've got no power there, and what I'm fearing is that
now how are they broadcasting?
Because they're on their cell phones.
Well, their batteries are going to die.
And that's what I'm fearing. Once the batteries die, that's when the move's going to happen.
Oh boy!
Unless they got their own. They got. Didn't they go in there with all kinds of like provisions and shit like that? I mean, don't they have a generator in there?
We're a month in. You know, so who knows how much they've got in there? I mean, they've probably got a way to generate themselves some power, but who knows? Who knows what they really have in there? And I mean,
a lot of them are those old school guys who are like, fuck solar power is shit.
Then you've got,
where you at now, motherfucker?
You've got somebody in there who's like, listen, I could take two paper clips and a nickel, and we can take some duct tape and put it on their skin, and we can charge up a battery that way.
You rub a needle on some silk, and then on the third day in May, you get a magnetic charge.
Dude's like, do we still have potatoes? We need potatoes. We need power. I need a potato.
Give me some potato batteries. I need 17 potato batteries right now.
I know, guys, everybody that's listening, we're making light of this situation just because of how horrible it actually is. But at the end of the day, this is a very serious situation.
Yeah, I know.
Once again, if you guys can turn around and you guys want to listen to this, go to the Copblock Radio page. It is the live stream is. Link is sitting on there. We understand if you guys want to listen to this. This is history in the making going on right now. This kind of feels like to me it is kind of like the next Waco that's about ready to go down. Maybe not as many people, but a pretty similar situation. So if you guys want to tune into that, we understand. And as always, as things happen in my ear, I will let you know.
Yeah, if you stay tuned in, you will not miss much, because we will be updating. I want this to end peacefully. I don't see this lasting longer than the night. Like, this is seriously, it's hit a boiling point right now where either the feds are going to back off and decide to de-escalate this, or they're going to stay where they're at, and this is just going to keep getting more and more escalated.
Yeah, it does not seem like it's calming down. It's just ramping up.
Yeah, and that's the trend that it has been for the last hour. The feds keep moving closer. This guy keeps screaming louder. There are guns inside, so yeah.
Well, I've been listening to him. I have not heard him once scream, "There are guns inside." They know that there's guns inside. They don't really have to scream that. But what the whole thing comes down to is, I mean, just a few minutes ago, the congresswoman, who I'm still trying to figure out her name, was leading a prayer with them, trying to calm them all down, and the FBI had the fucking audacity to come up and break the prayer to ask her if she wanted coffee. I mean, that's the amount of shits they do not give. So they're just sitting back waiting on an order that just says, you know what, screw it, go. They're desperately trying to get a hold of the governor. The governor's not taking their calls. Like nobody's given them the ability to talk about this to the actual people who can do something to make sure they walk out alive. And you can hear it in their voices. They're starting to give up. They're starting to give up the hope that this is going to end peacefully. And that's why the guy's getting a little bit more radical, because he's starting to feel like, you know, if he's got to make a stand, he's going to make one hell of a stand. And that's what I'm hearing right now.
Well, time will tell, man.
Absolutely.
It's playing out right now, so you know we'll see. We'll keep up with it. So.
Alrighty. So
Yeah, I just posted our next story up on the Copblock Radio Facebook page. So if anybody wants to open it up and follow along or read it on their own time. The story was submitted by one of our guests for later tonight, Isaiah Holmes. And it's out of Gloucester County, New Jersey. And Dio, you're familiar with this story according to the notes here.
Gloucester County, New Jersey?
Or Gloucester Police Department. It involves their
Massachusetts, you mean?
Is it Massachusetts? See, I see Gloucester.
Massachusetts.
No,
I see Gloucester, and I think New Jersey because there's a Gloucester, New Jersey.
Dude, ain't you never seen The Perfect Storm? The Gloucester fisherman, dude?
Yeah, you're right. It is Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Come on.
This police department there has decided that they're not going to make drug arrests. And
yeah, I wrote one of the initial stories for this. It's a really cool. The Angel program. They instead of sending addicts to prison, they send them to rehab, and they allow them. The good thing about it is that they allow them, like, they won't. You know, most times, I don't know if you know or if you don't know, or you know, I mean, there's tons of shows on TV about addiction and all this other kind of shit. So I can only assume that you know that usually when an addict goes into rehab, he wants to do like one more. He wants to have like one more final blast party before he goes in.
Well, so we're going to be right back with our second half of Copblock Radio. Sorry to cut you off, Dio.
No, it's cool.
That snuck right up on me.
Way to go, dickhead.
We have several guests coming up on the half, as well as more updates to the Oregon militia. So, guys, do not tune out. We will be back.
Tune in, tune out, drop out.
All right, here's our long break, guys.
Is Janelle coming now?
Are you getting Janelle in?
Yeah, I'm working on it now.
You got the link?
Working on it now. Don't I just have to copy this at the top and just send that to her?
Yep.
All right.
On the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Radio Minute and Peace Love Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
If you can't listen to the Liberty Radio Network's internet streams, free satellite channel, or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone. 213-493-0309. It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked into our stream 24 hours a day. Call 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
More Copblock Radio is coming up next, live after the news, on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Canada Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, February 10th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.22 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,189 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $380. Antiwar.com reports an airstrike in southern Syria's Daraa province hit a Doctors Without Borders supported hospital earlier this week, killing at least 3 people and wounding 6 others, including a nurse who was working at the facility. Doctors Without Borders reported that the strike incapacitated the hospital's ambulance service and did some damage to the building, which is just 7 miles away from the Jordanian border near Tafas. Doctors Without Borders also reported some 20,000 civilians fled the area. Fighting has picked up in the Daraa province in recent weeks, with the Syrian military advancing into multiple towns and chasing the rebels back. When Jordan was allowing rebels to use their territory, they were able to amass significant gains in Daraa. In recent months, Doctors Without Borders hospitals have been hit in growing numbers in Syria and Yemen, while the U.S. attacked a major hospital in Afghanistan late last year. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agorist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. UPI reports tens of thousands of convicted felons living in the state of Maryland will be able to vote in all future state elections, including this year, regardless of whether or not they have completed their terms of their probation or parole. The Maryland Senate on Tuesday struck down a veto by Governor Larry Hogan by a vote of 29 to 18. The bill to extend felons' voting rights was first introduced in last year's General Assembly. Democratic lawmakers reinstated the bill this year and it passed, but that plan had a snag when Hogan broke out his 6th veto to freeze the bill in its tracks. The Maryland House of Delegates also voted to overturn Hogan's veto last month. Presently, convicted felons in Maryland must complete the terms of their parole and probation before they are allowed to register to vote. This bill removes that stipulation and will allow tens of thousands of newly released felons to participate in the voting process. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts.
Hello, Janelle.
Hello there.
Hello. Making sure your audio is working. How you doing tonight?
Good. Kind of an exciting night. I don't know. I'm not enjoying listening to that. What's going on at the refuge? That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that.
Hello,
all right, I'm gonna cut over.
Janelle.
I'm gonna cut over to play the commercials. I just wanted to make sure your audio was working.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you in a minute.
All right.
The administration power plant also mandates a shift to renewable energy away from fossil fuels. The highly unusual move by the justices means the regulations will not be in effect while a court battle continues over their legality. The White House on Tuesday night said it disagrees with the court decision, but said it expects the rule will survive the legal challenge. The plan was designed to lower carbon emissions from U.S. power plants by 2030 to 32% below 2005 levels. It is the main tool for the United States to meet the emissions reduction target it pledged at UN climate talks in Paris in December. A senior administration official told reporters on Tuesday night that despite the court's procedural decision, the United States can deliver those commitments and take new and additional steps to lead internationally on climate change. The action by the Supreme Court casts some doubt on the long-term future of the EPA's role because it increases the chances that the conservative-leaning Supreme Court will take the case after a lower court issues a decision on the legality of the regulations and ultimately would strike it down. As recently as June, the High Court ruled 5-4 against the Obama administration over its efforts to regulate mercury and other toxic air pollutants. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
A hot new murder craze sweeps Chicago. Things that shouldn't be said in modern society are said 1,400 times at the RNC, and a brave woman enters a restaurant without first looking it up online. This is the Onion Week in Review. The World Wildlife Fund quickly backtracked Thursday from a recently released press statement saying panda ears are, quote, absolutely delicious. Organization officials noted that while panda ears do taste amazing braised, steamed, fried, or cooked in an omelet, they should not have announced it publicly, nor should they have ever eaten any part of a cheetah, giraffe, or Bengal tiger, no matter how good they may be. According to company sources, the Netflix board of directors held a tense series of meetings earlier this morning to decide whether the fantasy comedy Michael is stream-worthy. The board reportedly sat through its mandatory 2 back-to-back screenings of the 1996 film starring John Travolta as an angel visiting Earth, all while passionately arguing over the film's story, acting, and level of enjoyment upon subsequent viewings to determine if the movie should be available through its instant viewing program.
This is the Onion News Network.
Oh yeah, Severin. I'm gonna pound you like this over that time thing, I swear.
Welcome back.
I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm telling you.
I had that down. I had that. I love this timer. The show works so much better when we have a clock, man.
Yeah,
I was just doing it by feel.
I am gonna give you a lot of noogies.
Oh man! Next time I see you, I know that I'm in for it.
Just bend your head.
So everybody, before we jump into talking with our guest here, I want to go ahead and just say, if you are interested in giving a call to the local FBI or local sheriff's office, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the numbers here. So if you'd like to call the FBI, you can find them at 503-224-4181. That's 503-224-4181. And if you would like to call the sheriff's department, use it, or you can call 503-842-2561. That is 503-842-2561. And let them know that you are one of 65,000 people listening to this situation live.
There's 65,000 people listening to Copblock Radio right now.
Giving our audience the advice to call the FBI. It just doesn't seem right.
There's 65,000 people listening to Copblock Radio right now?
Oh, man, the FBI, they're just some scary people, man. It seems like anymore that they could just get away with whatever they want. Like, they're like above cops. What's your feel on this, Janelle? Well, let's welcome our guest, guys. This is Janelle from Kansas City Copblock, the woman of Copblock, the just all-around...
Midwest Copblock as well.
All around Copblock awesomeness. We had a
host of the Mac Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
The Mac Tour in Kansas City.
I would just like to point out we had a woman guest last week that ran just as many groups. If it wasn't for our women in the Copblock organization, I don't think us men could get anything done. So shout out to the women at Copblock, because I know I personally couldn't get my group to accomplish anything without the women behind the scenes that run stuff.
We do have a knack for organization and basically curiosity, and when we have a passion, at least most of the women I know go for it, you know, especially when it involves our kids and our family, like government does.
Hey, Janelle. Hey, Janelle, you got a bunch of Copblock gear, right?
I have quite a bit of Copblock gear, yeah.
Where'd you get it at?
Copblock online store.
All right.
Copblock.org/store.
Yes, tons of it there. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ironically enough, my Copblock shiny badge got stolen.
What?
Straight from my house. And I haven't gotten it back.
A prick and another shiny badge?
That's just because it's probably one of the coolest accessories in the Copblock store. I love my shiny badge. I took it. I wore it when I filed an internal affairs complaint, and every cop gave me dirty look.
Was it taken by another prick in a shiny badge?
Well, if anybody comes across somebody around Kansas City that has a Copblock shiny badge number 629, that is mine.
Well, that's a great thing about it. They're all individually numbered, so it's personalized to you.
I know.
I
get it,
tried to
you're-
tell somebody they were individually numbered, and they didn't believe me. They thought that they were all with the number that I had. No, they're
you're all
individually numbered.
There's actually, I don't know if it's still going, but there used to be a shiny badge group on Facebook where you could go and like claim your number so that everybody knows that that's your number.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't
Pretty
know.
cool.
Yeah, I doubt I'll get it back. So.
216, motherfucker!
You should just get a new one sent.
Yeah.
Badge number 216 in the 216 broadcast.
So rumor,
motherfucking
rumor has it you're an old school radio show host. Back when the show first launched, you were part of the radio show.
I was a part of the radio show. I was on the radio show quite a bit, but I was never I was never on
guest.
as a
I'm
host.
sorry, that was me misunderstanding what you said. You were a frequent
call in
guest.
together.
That's my bad.
Now, I did host Copblock Radio with Barney Cox for a while, and that was pretty big because it was a question and answer show. And well, we got overwhelmed. I mean, there was no one to screen the calls, and there were too many calls, and we just kind of didn't know what to do. So we started doing it as far as we would do an interview with a few people with things that were going on, and then we would air it later. But it ended up, we just kind of said, forget about it, I mean, it was almost too overwhelming.
It sure is hard to structure a fucking radio show, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't expect that many people to really have, questions and want to call and tell their story. It was right around the Ferguson time, and we had just come back from Ferguson when we had our first show, so there were a lot of people that tuned in, and yeah.
Well, I wasn't ever expecting to be a host of Copblock Radio when we were calling into Copblock Radio on fucking Mixlr.
I know. Remember the old days? Wow. So I've known Dio since 2012, right?
How many hearts can you get it? How many hearts can you make it, remember?
So you were around when Copblock was not even a web page yet, when it was just a Facebook page, correct?
I think the web page was there. The web page was there.
Yeah, the web page was there.
Probably right around.
Copblock Radio spawned off that. It was because of the web page that they started the radio show, and
yeah,
it was. I'm Eric Free Rock was the one who started it, so.
Yeah, and Adam Flatman, I used to be on with him. That's who I did my first radio podcast with them. So,
I'm getting. Hang on one second, Matt.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Oh, do you hear that? I'm sorry. Give me a second. There you go. Sorry
cool.
about that.
It's your professionalism I admire.
Go ahead, Janelle. Sorry about that. I could hear the standoff. Is there anything breaking on that we need to know right now?
No,
or is it just right where it left off?
It's right where it left off. Basically, right now they're just discussing the heater that they have in there and whether they're able to light it or if the FBI is going to think that they're doing something malicious with their propane heater. So I've got Rick Gonzalez of Allentown Copblock and Scott Marshall of Oath Accountability Project. They're both giving me live updates as things happen. So if I get any sort of urgent message from them that I need to tune in, I will throw my headphones back on and give you guys a live update.
Cool. Well, go ahead, Janelle. Tell us back a little bit about your history in Copblock. Sorry to cut you off there.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Gosh, I think it was right around the beginning of 2012 when I started getting involved with Copblock specifically. I founded Missouri-Kansas Copblock with another person that lives over here, and I live in Kansas City, Kansas.
But we won't talk about that, right?
No, I will not. I'm no longer associated with that chapter that I founded, needless to say. But that was actually a turning point in my life, too, because a couple years earlier than that, I'd say maybe 3 years earlier than that, I had just, I want to say, come from the Libertarian Party, like a my-anarchist type of way of thinking about politics, into more of the voluntarist anarchy type of ideals. And it made me think about, what am I doing actively? I was always very outspoken about war, the wars that, the United States government goes and blows everybody up. And, I've always had a concern about that, the violence, the mass violence. And I think that knowing that we could keep, the workers of the state, try to hold them accountable here is definitely something that we can do, just in our own communities. So it's more active, I would say, than I used to be in that realm. But around 2012, Jeffrey Winehouse, he's a guy who's in prison now. Actually, he was.
Is he still in?
Yeah.
How much longer?
We're going to have
got?
more of Janelle's history in the Copblock organization.
Well, hold
as well
on,
as
man. How
another
much longer
guest.
does he have? How much longer does he have?
I think he has like 23 years.
We'll be right
Okay,
back.
We'll be right back.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's trying to get Court of Appeals to hear his case.
Well, here we'll come back into that when we come back from commercial break.
Yeah. But that somehow through being kind of obsessed with what was going on with him, I met a few people who had the Copblock connections. And
Save it, Janelle. Save it. We're on commercial.
Yep.
Save it for when we come back.
Okay.
Ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office prop, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.lrn.fm. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. On Wednesday, gold is $3 higher at $1,192 per ounce. Silver is up 2 cents at $15.29 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $382 US. We're offering up to 200 Gold American Eagle 10th ounce coins for $60 off the usual ounce price each. Call us and ask about this special at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Every once in a while you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. I know this sounds unbelievable, but at my house, we saved as much as 45% off of a new item on Amazon. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveatpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
We are
I got
back.
somebody here who wants to say hello to Janelle.
Do we have a special guest star?
I want to say hello to someone.
Can you hear me?
Special guest star.
It's a
Hi.
demo.
How you doing?
Just chilling like a villain. How you?
Same here.
Right?
Yeah.
You pimping
What's up,
the,
Ademo?
I shouldn't say that, actually. I was going to be, are you pimping the women of Copblock? I mean, promoting.
Yeah. All of the Copblock chapters.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on there.
Dio's losing his connection.
That's not good. Well, while that's going on, I'll go ahead and give a little bit of an update that's going on out in Oregon. So apparently right now they are trying to get Victoria, who was at the scene in Oregon when, I don't want to screw up his name, what was it, Lavoy Finicum? Was that his name? The guy who was leading everything? Yeah, when he was shot, they're trying to get her on the call right now so they can, hear basically not only what she has to say, but what they might expect to happen, considering she was there when all this went down. So that's going on, and also they have Congresswoman, I still haven't caught her name, and a guy named Mark, who are on their way to the scene now. Their GPS says that they will be there by 1 a.m. I'm sorry, I thought that they were out by the FBI. They were not. They are driving to the scene now, and like I said, they will be there at 1 a.m. Pacific time, so that is 5 hours from now.
Yeah, Matt, do you have like maybe 2 headphones going or something?
I don't.
Not sure which one of us that is that's really causing a lot of feedback right now.
Yeah, no, I don't have 2 going.
It's okay.
Wasn't me. I'm muted.
Yeah, we'll push through it. I think what it was the feedback from when Dio was on, and it was choppy. But all right, well, we're here with Janelle from the Women at Copblock, and we have another guest that's going to be joining shortly. Matt, do you have Isaiah?
I don't. I wasn't actually aware that I was the one putting him in. I don't have him on Facebook.
I can.
That's my bad.
I can shoot him a message. Well, Janelle was talking about before we cut out. What was that? Your original partner out there that got 23 years in jail.
Well, he got 25. Yeah. It's a.
There's a story all within itself.
Yeah. It's on his camera. There's live footage, and it's from his body cam, and it's Spywatch camera that he had. But he was going to meet 2 cops to get his computers back. They had got a warrant. They had probable cause. They smelled weed or something. He was running for county coroner, and he was going to open up some investigations into a few suspicious deaths. And I'm not sure that Henry Folsom, that's the cop who tried to kill him, I'm not sure that he had something to do with it, but everyone's connected. Everyone knows that. But he was going to open this stuff up, and they started saying that he was threatening the government on his podcasts and things. They went into his house, said they had probable cause because they smelled weeds, because they got a warrant. And they went in and they found like a joint. And they confiscated all of his computers, took them.
So they can. The cops are allowed to say that they could smell weed outside your house and come in.
In Missouri at that time, yeah.
That's wild.
They got a warrant for it.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, yeah. Then Jeff was trying to get his computers back. So Henry Folsom and his partner said, you meet us at this gas station. This is in Raleigh, Missouri. And it was during the day. They set up a time to meet for his computers. He was well wired with cameras and everything. And he went and he got out of his vehicle. And you hear Henry Folsom, you can see him, both the cops walk up to him, hey Jeff, what's going on? You know, why are you carrying? And Jeff said, well, why are you carrying? And Henry Folsom didn't give him much of a chance except get down on his knees. He got down on his knees and he shot him.
Much like Tamir Rice.
What?
I said much like Tamir Rice.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Tamir Rice.
Oh man, and you know, I mean, you can see him go down and all of that, but why he's in prison is they say that he attempted to take his gun out, which the holster that it was in is almost like the police issued holsters. You cannot just quick draw from those. Okay, I mean there was no way. So, but he ended up, regardless, going to prison as an attempt to murder.
Well, he lived through the shooting, first of all. They shot him like fucking 9 times, and then he lived through that, and then they put him in jail.
Yeah, and of course, you know, blame the victim and something has to be done. So he is in prison.
There's extensive writings on this on copblock.org, right?
Yes, there are
This is
plenty.
Yeah, Pete Eyre was covering this when he was still doing that back then, when he was still much involved with Copblock. So if you look it up on copblock.org, you'll see a lot of information on the whole story.
So what's your day-to-day cop blocking like now? Do you stay pretty much quiet?
No, not really.
Do your local police know exactly who you are?
Man, you can't untake the blue pill.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah. No, they do know who I am. They know who Danny is. They even know who my kids are, I'm sure. So, yeah. They say we make them famous.
Well, good.
They don't mess with me too much, honestly. I've never really had cops. I've never been taken in, never anything like that. So I'm sure that I don't come across as very threatening, but things have become so different, even in the last 2 years, that, you know, cops act like they're afraid and all kinds of ridiculous things. But they do know who I am around the area, so yeah, they do.
Hey guys, I don't want to cut anybody off right now, but it's being reported that the live feed is actually being tampered with. So they're cutting in and out, and they're having issues actually staying with the live feed.
They probably have some kind of signal, some kind of thing to interrupt their signal.
Yeah, they're going off and on. So I will let you know if it completely cuts off. But as of right now, it's bouncing back and forth.
That's some scary stuff.
Matthew, you guys were probably talking amongst yourselves. This was before I was on. The people that are driving there, the congresswoman that's speaking to them.
Do you have her name?
Oh man, no.
Yeah, I can't get her name either.
I couldn't, and I was trying. I'm like, who is this lady? But she said that they were going through a mountain pass and that they were going to lose reception. And and they just said if we lose reception, just keep talking.
Right, but they lost connection with them in the house too. So because they've called into Gavin's show and Gavin lost everyone for a minute.
Well, we are cutting to another commercial break. But this is definitely turning out to be a great episode. This is insane that this is breaking during the show. So we will be coming back with updates right after this.
I know they have. I think they were too. I think they had a side profile.
Yep.
They wouldn't take much.
Yeah, we're out.
You should say that when we are. You should make sure you say that when
I thought I had the commercials on. I gotta.
Irregardless, you should say it so it's audible so everybody knows.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna end with Gilbert.
Okay.
Because this is.
Yeah.
We're killing segment after segment, and I'm not even meaning to. Like, we're just getting into conversation.
No,
That's
it's
fine.
cool.
It's good radio.
That's radio, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really. I mean, that was it for the stories.
We didn't plan on.
We have the story that we were going to do with Isaiah, and instead we just have him here as a guest.
Okay.
And we'll talk to him a little bit. What's up, Isaiah? How's your sound?
What's going on, guys? Sounds great.
Cool.
All right, just try not to be eaten when we're on live.
Yeah. I'm going to play some commercials right now. We come back in 3 minutes.
Got it.
Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
Understanding your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. This is Charlie Sundstrom with your Van Dyke Mortgage Minute. The most influential component of your credit score is your payment history. Almost equally as important is the amount you owe on credit accounts. Also impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
I'm Ian Freeman, host of Free Talk Live. We've been covering Uber for years on the radio with their ongoing legal cases across the globe defending your right to give people rides without asking government permission. I wanted to support Uber more directly, so I signed up to be a driver. It's fun to meet new people and help Uber push forward innovation. As of this recording, Uber is active in 67 countries, so there's a good chance they're available in your area. If you'd like to drive for Uber and make some money helping people get where they want to go, sign up at drive.freetalklive.com. And you'll get a $100 bonus after you complete a certain number of trips. With Uber, you can drive anytime you want. You set your schedule. To get started, you need a good driving record, 4-door vehicle, insurance, registration, and to pass a background check. It costs nothing to sign up, so visit drive.freetalklive.com. That's drive.freetalklive.com. And if you just want to try Uber as a rider, visit ride.freetalklive.com. Your first ride's free.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
Oh, wow.
So,
we are back.
There we go. Keeps doing that.
Sorry.
Good to be back.
Yeah, I keep turning my microphone off during the commercial.
Well, stop fucking doing that, will you?
Well, it's the professional.
You don't want to hear. Yeah, it's professionalism if I turn it off during the commercials so you don't hear noise over. Anyway, we are back with Isaiah.
What's going on?
Brand
guys?
new member of the Copblock.org blogging team.
The family.
Welcome, Isaiah.
Welcome to the family, Seth.
Isaiah is 19 years old. And before you go to think us cop blockers are corrupting him, at, 17 years old, you created a full 2-hour documentary involving the police state, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Pretty much took it upon myself to just try making a project and seeing how it came out.
That is so awesome. I had a chance to check out a little bit of it. It has some decent production. Like you put a little time into some of like the special effects as far as like the credits and all that. Like I could tell you just from a video editing standpoint, you really took some time on that.
Yeah, it was really painstaking, especially with the YouTube video editor. It was created all through that.
You did it all
got a
through
really good
Holy
computer.
Oh man, you did it all through YouTube editor. Oh man.
Wow. So
Well,
did you do this as like a senior project, or is this something you did on your own free time just because you felt compelled to do it?
Well, it started out as something on my own free time because I felt compelled to do it. And actually, for my senior year of high school, it actually turned into a senior project for my MediaCom class just because we needed final.
Did you get an A?
Huh? Yeah,
Did you get an A?
Yeah, I did.
Sure as hell hope so.
Yeah, I
Anybody
did,
who
and-
has enough patience to use YouTube video editor for that length of time deserves an A.
No, that's only worth a B. That's only worth a B.
And actually, the 2-hour film is a re-edit of the original project which I had worked on in high school. The re-edit was done basically to fix all the editing flaws from the original film and add more information and more interviews, because as soon as I published the first film, I realized that it was still an ongoing story, and I was missing a lot of pieces. So I went back and did that.
C plus
Hey,
plus. C plus plus.
You
The
know
second
what?
plus, because he was excited about it. So it's.
Hey, I can't fault him. I mean, there's a hell of a documentary that I've watched several different times over called Loose Change about 9/11 on YouTube, and I think they've reposted and re-edited and added things probably about 4 or 5 times by now. So
that was a whole lie of a documentary in the first place, wasn't it?
I plan on only doing that once for Speak, Friend, and Enter, which is the film's title.
Well, I stupidly didn't save the link you sent me to your documentary, but if you can get another link to that while you're in this call and shoot it over to me on Facebook, I will put it up on the Copblock the Copblock Radio Facebook page, because I think everybody should check it out. You did put a good amount of time in it, and it really did show your local department pretty looking pretty ugly there.
Hey, Isaiah.
Yeah.
I'm with stupid.
Hey, listen. I'm running a radio show, a Facebook page.
Here we go.
Running sound level.
Welcome to the disclaimer.
Here come the excuses.
I'm going to try to get the link to you now.
We're going to play a game.
Is there any update, while we're waiting for that link, is there any update to the situation in Oregon?
No, it's still basically at the same thing. They're still talking. They're still praying. I do have the Congresswoman's first name. Her name is Michelle. I don't have a last name for her. I have people looking into it for me.
And is she an Oregon? She's an Oregon Congresswoman.
I believe so. I can't confirm that as of right now. It is taking her 5 hours to drive to them, so,
Wow.
she's from the other side of the state, but it's on a holding pattern at the moment, so it seems like they've got their communication issues worked out for the moment, but like I said, anything that happens, I will let you know.
Nice.
Yeah, they had to first figure out who was the senator for that part of the world, because they were like, where the fuck is this place?
Like, somebody get her! She's in the
Whose
middle
joint
of
is
the
that?
field!
Whose joint is that?
So, Isaiah, why don't you tell us what you think of what's going on here in Oregon? Are you familiar with what's happening right now as we speak?
With the FBI occupation, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just got off of work about an hour ago, and I scrolled through my homepage's news, and I glanced at something about FBI had surrounded the compound or something like that. Last time I left off,
Wait.
leader had been arrested.
I got it. Did I hear you correctly? You're a cop blocker with a job?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Right.
rare.
That is, according to all the cop suckers, that doesn't happen. So
Wait,
it's good to hear that.
So you're a cop with a job. Are you living in Mom's basement?
No, actually, I'm...
2 for 2! We're Mythbusters tonight.
We got to get this guy in. Good.
Yeah, but I didn't get a chance to read that article. Last time I left off, they had arrested the leader of the movement, I guess you could call it, and shot one of them dead. And there was a lot of controversy and stuff about that. And then
You talking about You're talking about the little boy Thinkum a week ago, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, that was the last time
Okay.
I'd actually read an article about it, because the rest of it just seemed like, regurgitation about that, and then it kind of
Yes.
died off.
Yes. It does
Did
get
you guys
repetitive.
do a sketch about the shooting video? I didn't know what to make of it.
Which one? The Thinkum video?
Yeah, like the video that the FBI released about showing when they shot the protester.
Yeah, I've been following it like you.
It's amazing how two totally different mindsets can use the same exact footage to come up with two totally different scenarios.
Because, like,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, like, there were some people saying that he reached for his gun and everything, and I don't really know. I mean, like, it's really grainy footage. I looked at the footage and thought I saw him with his hand already on his belt, but, I mean, I don't know.
They shot his arm. They shot his hand.
Oh, so that's what that was.
And I do wonder if they did that, and you can see it when they slow it
Yeah.
down. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what it looks like to
I
me.
was looking at that, but it seemed also really quick. And then if you saw the guy, the people he was looking at weren't even the people who shot him. There was a cop who came out of the woods and shot him.
Yeah, to me, what it looked like was a murder. I mean, he gets shot once.
Well, if anybody remembers Waco.
He gets shot once, and of course his
Happened
hand
again.
moves toward there. His hand moved toward his wound, not his gun. His
Yeah,
first
does
thought
it-
wasn't shoot back. His first thought was like hold his insides in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
does
reached
anyone
down
know-
for it, and
Does anyone know how many shots he had?
I believe it was.
Three, I think.
What was that?
I think it was 3.
3? Oh, at least they didn't unload their magazine.
Yeah, I can't say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that.
I mean, I've been following it about as loosely as you have, Isaiah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was following it pretty steeply just because it was just really incredible that they had allowed them to stay that long, and they were really, really chill about it too. Like, Vice did a piece where they embedded with the militiamen, and they filmed these guys meeting the FBI in the middle of the road, like in some rancher movie or something. And then, like, they talked. And then they talked and tried to negotiate, and no conclusions were met, and then they left, and a few days later, all this happened.
Draw.
I was watching when Waco was under siege, and I was horrified.
Yeah.
That was so messed up, and of course it gets so skewed, you know.
Well, the situation is certainly scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are cutting to our last commercial break of the evening. We will be coming back with a shocking guest. Apparently, police brutality has crossed the celebrity borderline, and Gilbert
Finally
Godfrey.
got us a celebrity.
Gilbert Godfrey has been assaulted by the police.
We
You mean I
joining
can
us.
finally come on the damn show?
He's been waiting a long time. I got to give him credit for being calm.
All right, we're out.
That was fucking perfect.
You know what? We're gonna be going out. This is our final segment. You guys can stick around if you want. I was gonna boot you off and just do Gilbert, but I think it'll be more fun with more people.
Yeah, I cut all my shit down, so I don't
Guys,
have nothing
feel
running
free.
anymore.
Feel free to ask Gilbert Godfrey questions.
Ask
This is
me
our
any-
last segment of the show, and we're going to be interviewing him about his police brutality.
Well, don't you guys have a routine or something worked out?
No, we were just going to do an interview.
Okay.
I've got I'll make up a little bit of a story as we go into it.
Well, because, I mean, I could just keep firing you questions at you.
I mean, that's cool too. It doesn't matter. I could go either way.
Premier liberty-oriented conference based in Manchester, New Hampshire, that attracts free thinkers from all over the world. Over the past 9 years, this 3-day conference has grown to attract distinguished speakers and organizations to discuss how to build a better society through free market solutions. This year, our headliner is Edward Snowden, live from Russia. To learn more about attending, exhibiting, and sponsoring this event, please go to nhlibertyforum.com. That's nhlibertyforum.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
If you want to play online poker with Bitcoin, you need a site that's trustworthy and technically sound. The site managers of swcpoker.eu have proven their commitment to bringing you great gameplay from a site you can trust, swcpoker.eu. They have lots of new games too, including Chinese poker, and their Krill leaderboard is open right now. It's a beautiful site, easy to use with lots of players. Go on over to swcpoker.eu now and have some fun with your Bitcoin. swcpoker.eu.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
I love Rage Against the Machine. I wish they were still around.
Yeah, right.
Gotta love the radio.
I mean, they're all still around. I just wish they would do something new together.
Yeah.
Well, you can always listen to the old stuff.
Weren't they banned from the radio
every day.
by Bush or something?
Yeah, that sounds just like our government with a First Amendment of free speech to ban a ban from the radio.
So what's going on with you guys? I don't, I've been kind of busy, so like you guys had to plan this whole shenanigans without me, and you apparently picked up a celebrity guest. So
he's on his way in. He's in the wheelchair.
He's been waiting forever, man.
Excuse me, Gilbert. Are you coming in?
Yeah, I finally got myself the microphone. I'm gonna move this asshole out the way and talk to you guys. How are you guys doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay? You look really beat up on this camera. Are you hurt?
Well, let me tell you guys a bit of a story, okay? So I'm driving down Hollywood Boulevard, right? And I look in my rear view and the lights are going. I mean, cops like to turn their lights on like women like to leave lights on in the bathroom. So I turn around and look behind me, and there's this jolly-looking asshole getting out of his car. He comes up to my window and says, "Do you have any idea why I pulled you over?" I says to him, "Officer, it's probably 'cause you got all C's in high school." So he tells me, "Get your ass out of the car." I get out of the car. He says, "Are you packing?" I said, "The only thing I'm packing is the sausage my mama born me with." So he decides to search me, and it was pretty damn uncomfortable.
Did he find the sausage?
Oh, he found my sausage and he even spit on his hand and checked my asshole.
Did he?
It was uncomfortable, let me tell you.
You got the TSA treatment, eh?
Oh, it was. I think I would have had a better time being waterboarded in Guantanamo.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was not a good time.
I gotta say, Gilbert, I'm a big fan. I'm almost 50 years old myself, so I've been watching you probably since you started. So it's been interesting to see your career take off through the way. Did you have these kinds of attitudes towards the police from the beginning of your career, or did you have to like kiss ass in order to get where you are, and then?
Well, if you know the way Hollywood works, basically you can't have your own opinion. But as you know, my career has basically gone the fuck away. So I can say whatever I need to anymore. And what I say is fuck the police. Fuck them.
Now, did you happen to film your encounter
with that thumb?
You didn't enjoy that, eh?
I enjoyed that about as much as I enjoyed my first wife.
Did you film your encounter with the police?
Film? Listen, I didn't have somebody there to film me, and that's the only way I know how. It was a mistake. I understand that now.
Haven't you been watching? Don't you know all the shit that's going on with the police? I mean, come on, dude.
Well, I'm rich and I'm white, so I thought I was safe. Turns out I was wrong. Thank you, Tarantino. Way to piss them all off.
Hey, Beyonce too now, eh?
Oh, but you can't touch Beyonce. She's queen bee.
I wouldn't touch Beyonce with your dick.
I wouldn't touch her with my dick either. I think I should have had it removed just for the thought.
Oh, man. So, I'm sorry.
Somebody else got to take over the fucking interview.
Somebody's going to ask a question. Somebody ask Gilbert a question.
Anyone?
Janelle, Isaiah, do you have any questions?
I'm thinking.
So you said fuck the police.
Yeah!
If you really knew what was going on, you'd have even more to say than that.
Oh, I've got plenty to say, but we just don't have that kind of time, sweetheart.
Have you ever gone to jail?
Well, not for that. I kind of had a coke problem back in the day. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I kind of don't have control over my voice anymore. The whole reason? Cocaine. Holy shit. Almost got kicked off of Aladdin because of it.
Now you're talking.
Well,
That's why I love this snow so
I
much.
have
It reminds me of some fresh powdered cocaine.
I have some of the watchers for the show commenting right now, and they're just loving you, Gilbert. They want to know, what do you feel about the police now? Like, is this going to affect your career? Is this going to affect your life?
Well, I'm glad I don't have much of a career to affect. The last time anybody saw me on TV, I was roasting Joan Rivers. So I think I'm okay to have my opinion.
What about Tom Cruise? You know him?
Tom Cruise has himself his own opinions, but the second he started talking about Scientology, I stopped caring.
I was just about to say, did he ever ask you to join?
I've drank a lot of Kool-Aid in my life. Most of the time it had LSD, but this time I didn't want to drink it.
Would you feel more alright with like joining a cult with Tom Cruise, or joining like David Koresh's cult or something?
Honestly, if I'm gonna join a cult, I'm gonna start it myself. And that cult probably will have jack shit to do with aliens. It's probably gonna have to do more with hot Brazilian women and their big breasts. Maybe even a cult that focuses around my career.
Oh my god, a personality cult.
I would like to know.
Kim Jong Gilbert.
Are you gonna write your story up and submit it to Copblock.org?
I might just do a video. just tell you all what happened and let one of you guys do it.
Well, you don't video the cops. What's wrong, man?
About these assholes than I am.
Can we send you a Copblock shirt? Will you wear it in your next movie?
Absolutely not. I have myself a manager, and he won't let it happen. But what I will do is wear it on the street.
Could it at least be in the background in like a scene so that it's like more subliminal than anything?
Maybe what I'll do is I'll just get badges don't grant extra rights tattooed across my fucking forehead. That way the message can't be silenced.
Maybe they can put it across your ass for your next anal cavity search.
No, that Dewey would have to cover the cheeseburger I've got on my left cheek. That real estate's been taken.
I'm so sorry to hear about your experience with the police. It's been really great having you on the show, though. You got to come back. You got to tell us more about the police. You got to just tell us more stories.
Please, you have to be a regular guest now. This is just it. Just has to be now.
Absolutely.
You broke the ice.
You've given me the most airtime that I've had in about 4 years. So I appreciate you more than you appreciate me.
I don't know about that.
We definitely appreciate you, Gilbert. We're coming up to the top of the show now.
Just do me a favor. Next time I come in and I've been anally assaulted, make sure you have a donut for me to sit on because my ass is on fire.
We definitely will look into that, Gilbert. Thank you again for joining. We are at the end of our show. You can find me at Lehigh Valley Copblock on Facebook and on YouTube. Dio?
Yeah, you know where you find me. If it ain't going to be in jail, it's going to be at copblock.org, Greater Cleveland Copblock on YouTube. You got the copblock.org store. Get your gear here. Get your shiny badge. Claim your number.
And you can find me Carbon County Copblock on Facebook or Oath Accountability Project on Facebook.
And you can find me on Netflix.
Isaiah?
Yeah.
You're writing at copblock.org?
Yes, I am, and I also have a YouTube channel. You can probably find it through the link to my documentary, which I sent you. Everything on there from a couple protests I filmed to the documentary to music videos, so that I've made for fun. So yeah, check it out and check out my writing. I always love an audience.
Janelle?
Yeah, you can find me at KCK Copblock, Midwest Tri-State Area Copblock, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Women of Copblock on Facebook. I haven't been writing much for the website, but I do that sometimes as well on copblock.org.
And we will catch you all next week on copblock.org.
Copblock Radio!
See ya.
Yeah. Sorry, Janelle.
Yeah, come back!
That was fun.
Cut it.
All right, guys.